Okay. Today, or at least right now in this moment, I feel anxious a little bit, and not the anxiety. It's like a low hum of anxiety, which is the anxiety I've been experiencing. Like when I get it in these last few weeks, it's just been like a hum in the back of my head. I don't know. I can't decide which one's better or worse, having that in your head or physically manifesting, because at least for me in my life, when I've had anxiety, it physically manifests through rash and being sick, like throwing up. So I don't know which one's worse, but it definitely is bothering me right now. And I think the source of it is it's my birthday tomorrow. I'm turning 18. I've been basically celebrating though. It kind of feels like it's my birthday today. Like it just feels like it's my birthday-ish time. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. To be honest, it's kind of hard to sort out in my head and kind of conceptualize. It's really hard for me to even put that into perspective that I'm turning 18. I have multiple reasons for that. I feel like for first off, I feel like everyone says this, and if you say this, shut up. But I feel like I kind of matured early, and like the fact that I'm turning 18 is like, oh, you're an adult now. Ugh, that's I just feel like I've been adulting, if that makes sense, and so it's like you're legal. Like that's weird. I don't know why you're saying it like that. I don't know. Being 18, I guess it's a big birthday. I felt like maybe it would be like less of an emotional birthday in my life. I was like, oh, 18, like that's when it stops kind of being like birthday, or I always felt like I'd finally feel old. I'm rambling, and that's okay. This is going to be just me talking, so if you were here for information, like if you were here for like, I'm just gonna talk. And yeah, I turn 18. And like I feel like I have so much life in my life right now. Like I feel like I've done so much. Not like I just feel like, oh my god, I'm 18 years old and this is what it's like to be 18. That's weird. That's weird. And time doesn't make sense to me at all. The fact, and like it never will, the fact that time just passes no matter what. And even like so much of my younger self when I was a kid growing up always, for some reason, 18 was kind of a big deal in my head. I was like, I wonder what I'll be like when I'm 18. I wonder what I'll look like. I wonder what I'll be doing. I wonder where I'll be going to school. I wonder where blah 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 blah. I wonder I always wondered what I would be like when I'm 18, and I'm 18 and I'm like, okay. And I don't know how to describe that. I just wish I could go back and tell her like it's all normal, it's all okay. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just weird. And I'm 18. Even a year ago today, it's weird that time has passed. Like I got, you know when you get those 1 year ago today and you're like, ooh, that's raw, that's real. I cannot believe that was me a year ago. And how much growth happens every single year is absolutely astronomical. I cannot I just can't. Every single year you're such a completely different person. Which is weird. Like so much can happen in a certain amount of time, and just trying to like reason it in my head is like 18 years. 18 years I've been doing stuff here. Like what? I have a list of things I wanted to talk about, and I'm going in circles, but I probably will this entire video. Okay, let me see. What is time? How old? How am I this old? Oh, on the completely flip side, going along with 18's like, okay, I've already felt kind of like an adult though. On the flip side of that, I am literally 8 years old. I'm actually 8 years old. I am 8. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Wait, yeah, flipping it both ways just doesn't make sense at all. Like, yeah, I'm 18, and then on the flip side, like, I'm 8 years old. There's no way. I can vote. I can vote. And I've been like waiting for that, and now it's real, and I'm like, I mean, see, both sides, I'm like, yeah, I should be able to vote. And then on the other side, I'm like, I'm older now. Like, I've grown up. I've done the growing up, it feels like. And just the other side of that is like we will always be growing up our entire lives. Our entire lives is growing up. We put this childhood at such a part in our time, but what I've realized is like we're always kids. We are always just kids on this earth trying to figure out this stage of our life. Growing up is just like maybe getting mature and like gaining experience, but childhood I feel like never will ever stop because I will be a child to my next 4 years. I don't understand those yet. I don't know how that's supposed to go. I will be a child when I'm a parent. Like I'll be navigating that for the first time, and I'll be a child when I have career changes, and like that's just all like we're all just kids. And no matter how old we turn, we're still experiencing that part of our life for the first time, which gives you so much comfort. And it's also just like, what? Like I'm an adult, but I'm still new to this stage. I'm still new to you're still new to everything that you do, if that makes sense. Oh, also 18 is just such a weird part of life, I feel like, because and I feel like this gets touched on a lot. People always say like how are you supposed to know what you want to do at this age? And like I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I have to know what I have to do. I don't feel that much anxiety surrounding that at all. I just feel like I've completely blanked. Oh, just the decision I make kind of right now affects absolutely every single thing that I do the rest of my life. So, where I go to school, relationships, how I treat like every single situation right now is just I'm at such a point in the road where there's like a million different ways to go. I have so much opportunity at this stage in my life at this moment, and it's crazy to think that the decisions I make affect at literally every life path decision. And I guess you could say that about when you're growing up, but you don't really make those big decisions until right now. But I guess every single day leading up to this day has also been the decisions that make me form the actual choice. I really shouldn't have had caffeine. I felt anxious, and then I was still like, well, I feel tired. So would I rather be awake and have a little bit more anxiety, or just be really tired and still feel anxious? And I picked having energy. But yeah, this time of life is so crazy. This is to anyone who doesn't know what they're doing. That's literally perfectly fine. That's that's perfectly fine. The pressure that people put on kids to have it figured out is so unrealistic. No one has it figured out. Give yourself tons of grace, tons of space, and room to make mistakes. It's perfectly okay to make mistakes. Make as many mistakes as you can. That's one thing I would advocate for people who are younger than me watching this. Just mess up. Just mess up. Let yourself mess up. Stop being scared to mess up, because everyone's gonna mess up. And I feel like the sooner you start making those mistakes and learning from them, yeah, okay, don't make the same mistake 4 times, but once or twice, girl, get it out of the way. Like, does that make sense? Not like purposely do bad things and don't hurt other people. But growth, the most growth for me in my life has come from stuff that I'm like, looking back on, I cringe. I'm like, why did I do that? Or I can't believe I behaved that way. But I learned now not to do those things. I would give specific examples, but I don't know if my mom's watching this. She's probably not, but she could be. I'm just thinking like with boys and parties and stuff like that, just do it and mess up. You can learn so much, only so much through other people's stories and other people's advices, but until you put yourself through those situations, and not on you know what I'm trying to say. Just mistakes leads to growth if you take them the right way. And people who I feel like haven't put themselves in challenging situations or been outside of their comfort zone or even allowed themselves to mess up just don't have that behind their belt going into college and going into the rest of their life. I just think I'm grateful for all the times that I've messed up and learned from them. I think that's what's and I'll make a million more mistakes, which is just crazy. Like I'll mess up a million more times. That's just part of life. Like sometimes I think I have stuff figured out. Sometimes. That's a rare occurrence though. I'll be like, "Oh, I've got it. I've got this," and then sometimes I'm like, I absolutely have no idea what I'm doing, but I've gained a lot of perspective on life, I feel like, through my incredible mess ups. Also, this video is kind of cool, and I think one of the things I like doing this 18th birthday video because I think it'll be so fascinating to go back and look at this and see my 18-year-old self. I just think that's so cool because I'm literally it's so cool to take a video about where I'm at, where my head's at, how I think when I'm 18 years. I'm sure I'll watch this back and be like, oh my god, she has no idea what she's talking about and stuff like that, but that's still cool, and it's like a video journal, which is dope. You guys should definitely journal. It's one thing that I still thank my younger self for doing all throughout my entire life is keeping journals and keeping them safe. And even if I journaled one time in that year, I'm so grateful that I have that page from my life. You can go back and see your thoughts and how you felt about things, which is so cool. Even if you're not journaling your thoughts, journal anything. Write it down. I think now that we have things like memories in our phones and all these photos we can look back on and stuff, we're only seeing the thing. We're not seeing, unless you take videos of you talking and stuff like that, you're not actually getting to see how you felt about each situation. Another thing I did when I was younger is like journal in my notes app, which I still wish I wrote things down, but it's still cool to literally look back and see like the exact date and time I was writing that and see how I felt about a certain situation, which is weird because that's weird. It's weird that I existed. It's like, I just exist all the time, if that makes sense, because I'll exist in the next 10 minutes and that's still me. And I've existed for all those years and that's still me. Sometimes I think we dissociate our younger selves from ourselves and we'll be like, oh, that's her though, that's not me. But no, that's still me. I'm still me the whole time. I'm spiraling. I can manifest anything. Facts. This, I want to do an entire series or an entire video about this weighted blanket. Cures me so much. I stole this from my mom when I was in middle school, maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, and I just keep it with me on every single bed. Like this has moved houses with me, and my mom hasn't asked for it back, but it's the only blanket I sleep with. So if she genuinely asked, I would tell her no, and that I would buy it off of her because it's the only blanket I sleep with, and I love it so much. I can manifest anything. I am pretty positive that I can have anything I want in this world. I'm 100% sure I could have anything I want ever. And I think this is a good mindset. I think this is unrealistic? No. I'm pretty sure that I can. And I think everyone should adopt this mindset. It has helped me. It eases everything up, but then it also makes me question like the point of life. Like if I can have anything I want, which I believe, then what's the point? I'm feeling existential, which I just think comes with when you start pondering things about time. Like I just think it gets existential. Like this isn't even real. And if you don't, I was having this conversation with my little sister. If you don't have that innate curiosity about how the world works and you don't have questions like, why am I here? Are you alive in the head? I just don't understand how people go throughout their entire lives never questioning and having this like innate curiosity to want to figure it out. I'm not an expert and I'm not like obsessed. I'm just saying I have always been like, but what is this? You know, like but what does this mean? I'm navigating this, but what for? Like, why am I here kind of thing. And it blows my mind that so many people are just so stuck in their routine, in their fog, in their life, in their dream reality. They can't even see. I don't know. I just think everyone should be asking questions. If you're watching this right now, why are you alive? What's your purpose? What's actually driving you? Do you know what's important to you? All of these things are questions you should be really asking yourself and figure out. Not like you have to have it figured out, but you should at least be curious and asking. And these are my favorite conversations to have with people ever. I love to pick people's brains about their concept of this world and what they think about it. If I had a podcast, I would literally want to interview people and just be like, what do you think this is? Like, why are you here? Why am I here? Like, that stuff is forever fascinating to me. And yeah, this doesn't, but also does segue into senioritis because I just have no motivation, and that's so normal. I don't want to sound like I have no motivation, like I'm so like tired of this. I know, and I know I've been tired of this since sophomore year, but I have a quiz tomorrow, and I just like, okay, like, and I care about academics. I've cared about academics before. It's not like I'm a bad student. I've grown up very much academically driven. I feel like that's something that my parents just kind of taught me, but they didn't tell me. It's interesting because my parents never taught raised me saying, "Do you have your homework done?" They never like check my grades every week. They are just kind of like, "You have good grades, good job. Here's $20." You know what I mean? That kind of thing, but never obsessed over it or made me feel bad about my grades ever. They've given me such a positive environment to grow up in academically and achievement wise. They've done a really, really good job, I feel like. And anyway, I have no motivation. The fact that I have to like, I hope I don't completely bomb this quarter, but I'm also not gonna be mad at myself if I do, because I got into college and I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna take then classes about things I genuinely want to learn on. Did I tell you guys about how I looked through the course catalog of the college? You can take any single class. You could just take what you want. I mean, I'm a little lucky right now because I'm undecided / exploratory, so I have a lot of room to go pick what I want to do. I'm still kind of deciding, figuring that out. But that's crazy because there's like hundreds and hundreds of classes. And I'm just, oh, that's interesting. Or, oh, that's cool. I could just take that. And the classes I'm taking right now in school, I'm like, why am I learning about meiosis and William Shakespeare's Hamlet? Those things, no. Bomb. I can bomb that. I can bomb those. That's fine. Because those I'm not placing importance on. This goes into my Enneagram. I feel like my type 3 is the achiever, and I really like to be good at things. But I really try to be good at things that I care about. So, and that's the thing with every type Enneagram 3. Like, an Enneagram 3 can look different for each one because it's what they find as success. This is how they define success. I saw pictures of my mom and my dad on the wall. So we have our class pictures from every single year up in our high school, the composites, and my mom and my dad went to the same high school that I'm graduating from. So I just found them on the wall today, and thinking about them always kind of gives me anxiety. I think that's probably when my anxiety started today. It is. That was my first trigger moment as I saw them on the wall, and that makes me feel anxious. And I just think about how amazing they are and how much stuff they did, and they did good things in high school, and I just didn't. And I don't want to like be hard on myself because I know that my priorities are just different, but I always will find what my parents define as success probably a part of what I define as success. And because they were doing things in high school, like my mom was popular and pretty and prom and homecoming queen or whatever, and then my dad's like vice president, or he was class president, vice president something, and then he was like NHS president. My parents were just prominent people in high school, and they've continued to be successful. It's not like they peaked in high school. They've continued to be successful people in their lives. And I just never did any of that, guys. I've never been the president of anything. I've never ran something. I've been a part of some cool stuff in high school, but I've never been the winner. And that triggers me a little bit because I really like to be good at things. And I just hadn't placed that much importance on being good at things in high school because I didn't think I cared. And I don't care. But maybe I should have. I don't know. I don't have regrets. I just feel a little like, anyway. Because none of that stuff even matters, but when other people care, it makes me feel anxious. Like my parents or like my best friends or people who are just like want to care. I'm like, oh my god, should I be caring? Is that something I should be doing? Should I? Anyway. But I don't. I really care. If I had to think about my priority, it would be I try to be the best version of myself really hard. Like that's where I've probably hyper focused and my Enneagram 3 comes out is I want to be the healthiest I can be. I want to be the most mindful I can be. I want to be the most spiritually aware I can be. I want to be the most empathetic and giving and generous as I can be. Those are the things I really try to focus on. Those are probably the right things. I'm being too hard on myself. Those are probably the right things people should be focusing on, not like president and stuff of school. I'm probably probably focusing on the right things. It just makes me feel when everyone else is talking about like, are you gonna get your summa? I just probably said like when people are like the summa rope thing GPA 4.5 or whatever. I'm like, no. Am I graduating with honors? I literally don't think so. But am I smart? Yes. This is just me self-validating. This is me convincing myself I'm enough. Okay, that's fine. Oh, connecting with myself again. Yeah, because last week I was doing a good job. I picked up a pretty good book. It was like the 7 Spiritual Laws for Success or something like that. And I was doing a good job again with connecting with myself and who I am. This week I kind of fell off a little bit. Like I was getting back into meditating every single day. Like I should have meditated this morning. I need to meditate tomorrow. I'll especially probably have extra anxiety tomorrow because it's my birthday. If your birthday doesn't stress you out, how? And someone teach me. Because I feel like that's why I always cried on my birthday. I'm always a birthday crier because I just feel stressed. And I have good things planned tomorrow, but it still will never feel right. Nothing would. A part of me, and as I just want to skip school tomorrow, lay in my bed, think about nothing. I just want to literally just all day. And I can't do that, and I'm not going to do that. But that's my anxious brain saying that. Because then it can't get messed up. Then that means it's perfect because nothing happened and it just is it. Tyler the Creator's deluxe album of Call Me If You Get Lost is so good, and I'm so glad that music forever will be created. Like music will just keep coming out. That is something so marvel to me. If we just had a limited library and that was it, you know how much different that would be? And I'm so grateful for creative minds out there who are constantly creating new stuff and putting their effort into work for other people to just hear and be entertained by. I'm so grateful for entertainment. And music is a form of entertainment, I feel like. It is. It entertains your brain. And it's nice to listen to. And I just like Tyler the Creator a lot. Yeah. I need to be we're coming up on the summer, right? And I'm trying to be extra aware of my thoughts. You know, wait, I have 2 things to say. I'm going to jump into something else first. Is that one, I just feel so raw with the camera for 2 reasons. A, you don't expect anything out of me. You can't ask me questions. You can't ask me anything else. I get to be as vulnerable as I want to be with you. B, I'm just going to be vulnerable anyway, so hopefully we are comfortable here. As we get closer to summer, I realize my thoughts getting different about food again and about exercise, and I'm trying not to do that. And it's hard. It's hard every single year, and it's kind of around April. It's April. It's a start, and I'm like, okay, Scarlett, it's okay. But then the other half of me is like, you should look different. That's okay. Just something that happens, and I feel like that's also probably universal for girls. So if you're a girl, or maybe you don't, I don't know. To me, that's common, I think, is starting to worry about your appearance once you know you're going to probably be more naked. I'm not even insecure about my body. I've had such a relationship with my body in general over my life. I think I've always been really aware of what I look like. But I've never had a super unhealthy relationship with food or exercise. I've gone through some lows for sure, but they've never been super, super bad. I think I usually bounce back and I try to maintain the thoughts about I need to eat for nutrition, I need to eat to be strong, and I do care about my strength, and I think I look great, but I always feel like I could look better. That's just always something. Again, yeah, that's happening in my head recently. I have 8 more weeks of school until I graduate. I didn't order a cap and gown. I'm really hoping that I can use my sisters and that we have them. If not, I'm literally not going to have a cap for grad. But it all circles back to nothing matters. So I swear I'm not this existential on a day-to-day basis. This is pre-birthday crisis. Although usually I'm a pretty yeah. As a human being, I'm pretty, like, does this even matter? But I have I have a lot of mini tasks I need to do today, and it feels good to kind of procrastinate. This is something I also needed slash wanted to do, but I have other things I need to do, like laundry and homework, I guess. And I was skipping lacrosse practice today because I don't want to go. And I have a game tomorrow on my birthday, which is annoying, kind of. It's not that bad if we win, but if we lose, that's just annoying. And my best friend comes home this weekend, which I'm really, really excited about, because if I had to ask for one thing for my birthday, it would just be time with her, because she lights up my life and my heart and my soul. And you need a female friend if you're a female. Or actually, I don't want to put gender on it. I shouldn't. You need to find your best friend. You need to find the person who is your person. I guess this can be romantic or platonic, but for me, I've found it in my best girlfriend, Sophia. And if she's watching this, I love you so much, and I'm so grateful that you're coming home to celebrate my birthday with me. Growing up, I've never been a big birthday party girl. And I think this came from, ooh, that's a little dark. It's kind of come from a place of don't waste your time celebrating me, or like don't put an effort for my birthday. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Not that I don't, because I do think I deserve it now, but dang, looking back at it, I never thought that I was like worth a party, or like not worth a party, but I was like, no, we don't need to do anything. Or like my mom would be like, and it's not like my mom never gave me the opportunity. She was always like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, or I always could throw something together for myself. I just never did. I was just always like, this isn't even like, it's not worth it. Which is kind of dark. That's also kind of how I feel about people coming to my lacrosse games, is it's not worth your time to come watch me. Like, your support is not worth the hour of time you're giving up in your life. Like, don't come watch me. I never like it when people are at my games. I mean, it's nice. I'm like, oh, that's cute. You know what I mean? That's a cute thing to do. But don't, like, never ever. And my birthday, I've never really had birthday parties. I'm always kind of like, I would rather do something fun with one person. Or I love gifts though. I love presents. Gifts and acts of service are my number 2 top love languages. So my birthday, I'm like, oh, I really feel the love, because I love presents. I love when people get me stuff. I love gifts. My best friend, I already got one of my gifts, and it's just so thoughtful. And people continue to blow my mind with how incredible they are and thoughtful, and I cherish things, but not things like if someone got me, I was telling Mia this the other day, one of my friends, if someone got me a pair of like or like something Lululemon, I would be so offended. Like, I would be offended. A, that's not what I want. B, take the money back. Take the money back. Like, does that make sense? Is when I like gifts, like my friends, thank God my friends are the most enlightening people ever. They get me such thoughtful things that I love, and things I actually use and everything. But I love gifts. I love gifts so much. I wonder where this comes from, because I know that psychology-wise, I think your love languages have to do with like how you were treated growing up and how people should love you growing up. So I don't know why gifts are such a big deal to me, because my parents never ever ever, wait, this would make sense. My parents never ever showered me with gifts ever. Like, they were never like giving me stuff I always wanted. They always taught me you have to like work for that, or yeah, you can have this eventually. How are you gonna like get it though? You don't. I'm not just gonna hand things to you. We never went on like shopping trips or stuff like that. We would kind of get the stuff that we needed, and that was kind of it. And if you wanted something, save it for Christmas or your birthday, you know? Anyway, so now when I get things and people just give me things, it really is like, oh my God, that means so much to me. People pay for things for me. I don't express how much it means to me, but deep in my core, I love it. It feels like I'm being taken care of completely. Paying for my stuff. Thank you so, 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 so much. It means so much to me. Like, that beats for me words of affirmation, quality time, or physical touch is like gifts and acts of service for sure. If someone does something for me, it's the same thing. I'm like, you did that for me? That's the sweetest thing. It's love languages is so fascinating. I love it. I love to hear what other people's love languages are. Uh-oh. Temperature. My camera's overheating? I didn't know it could do that. Well, huh. She does feel a little hot, but I didn't know that could happen. This is the longest I've probably filmed like this for, but I wasn't done. And love languages is so fascinating to me. You should know every single person in your life that you care about's love language because it's so insightful to know how to love them. And if people know yours, then they know how to love you best. I really, I'm not quality time. I'm just not. I'm not quality time. I'm not. That does not mean love to me. And neither does, what's the other one? Words of affirmation, that also does not mean love to me, which is interesting. Physical touch, of course. I do like it. I like, but more, this is real. I I really really like being touched, but I also just love touching people. I would rather touch you. That's my thing. Is I would rather have my hand on you than your hand on me because I like that. But anyway, I haven't been reading anything that good lately. I've been obsessed with watching people like podcasts and stuff like that. I just got into Shane Dawson's podcast, which I thought I would be more embarrassed to say, but it's actually so funny. And I hadn't gotten into it except for my little sister was like knew that I liked Shane growing up, and she was like, "You need to watch this." Well, how haven't you watched this yet? Shane is so funny. I feel bad for him because he kind of got canceled that one time. And you know how awful it would be to be canceled? You know how awful that would be? Just to know that universally a movement of people hate you? That's so sick. And like, I can't believe we do that to people as a society. It's like cancel them because people can do some messed up things. I'm trying not to cuss on here. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I don't know. I'll probably get past that. People have done some messed up things, and yeah, they should be held accountable. But canceling someone is crazy. Like, you've probably done something too. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you tell someone that like you're awful, like you don't deserve to have a platform, like blah 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 blah, when you've probably done something bad. You know what I mean? Like, we've all done bad things. So what? Cancelling's crazy to me. Like, no, I will forever love Shane Dawson. I know he's done some stuff, but like he's so funny and you're not an evil person, so it's okay. Is evil even real? I also got into this conversation the other day, and it's fascinating and intriguing because is it even real? I don't think so. Probably not. And I think there's probably only good and light on earth. But I have a pretty optimistic look at life, and I realize that, and I realize not everybody does. So yeah. And what's interesting to me, and I don't want to like, I'm not gonna trauma dump because we're not there yet, me and you, but I've been through some stuff. It's not like nothing bad has ever happened to me. That's something that's like, yeah, I have a really positive outlook on life, but it's not like I've been in a bubble. I know what it's like to be in pain. I know what it's like to hurt. I know what it's like to hurt people. It's just like, at the end of the day, you have to live with love and you have to lead with love and not live in fear because, like, blah, 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 life's short, but life's also long. And, like, take every single day and make it yours. And if you're constantly living with this idea that, I don't know, like, evil and bad things are gonna happen is so awful. That's such an awful way to live. And I will always continue to think that the best things happen to me, and bad things that have happened to me didn't actually like happen to me. They just are things that I experienced and things that happened in front of me and I was just a part of. That also might be a coping mechanism. It's on my to-do list this year. It's on my bucket list in 2023 to go see a therapist again because I realized that I'm not as healed as I think I am. And also, I put on a level of performance for every single person in my life. If you know me, I put on a level I put on at least a little bit of something for you. And I feel like a therapist you don't have to do that for. I probably still would. A little part of me will. But it'll be way less than I do for every single other person in my life. Also, I do that for the camera. It's like for the camera, I feel like I take away so much. And I can just be so real and tell you how I feel and be like, if I'm having a crisis today and I just want to spiral, then you're here for that. You have to be, because I opened the camera. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. It's the same thing for a therapist. Like, you kind of have to listen to me talk and spiral because I'm paying you. So yeah, I'm gonna go to therapy this year. I should probably do that before I leave for college so I don't like bring trauma to college, if that makes sense. I shouldn't probably bring my problems there. And like my roommate, she does not deserve that. So I'll go to therapy. Everyone should be in therapy. I highly believe that. We should have more therapists. I think therapy should be mandatory because no one goes through life and doesn't have something bad happen to them or happen in their space. Does that make sense? Everyone should be in therapy. If you don't think you should be in therapy, you should. Yeah, I need to go back. I really liked my old therapist though, and I'm kind of a little sad because I don't think I'll get her back. She's probably doing other things now. That was a while ago. That was a few years ago. But she was so good. I think what made her a really good therapist, point one, is that she was funny. And I love laughing. Like, thanks for making me laugh. You know what I mean? I just love it when people are funny in general. Doesn't everyone love laughing? But it's just such a good quality. She was really, really funny. That was her top thing. I was like, you're funny, so this works. And yeah, I should get back to therapy. So should you. You should also go to therapy. This has honestly been pretty. This has been pretty good for me. This has helped me feel a bit better. I'm really trying to be kind to myself today and tomorrow and just let myself feel things. You know? Yeah. My camera's probably gonna die. I should probably go soon.